You're live, Pierre.
Welcome to the early edition of the Hockey Nation Live Show with your co-host, Coach Frenchy, directly for the Sunshine State. And we have to go all the way to the West Coast to find co-host Michael Devellano.
I'm heading to training camp tonight, Pierre. We're getting ready for the Everett Silvertips first training camp in over a year, so we're pretty excited about that.
I'm sure.
2 years. So last night, I don't know if you saw the Canadian women in the World Championships played the U.S. and the overtime goal by Marie Poulin.
Yep.
So the Canadian women have not won the World Championships in like 5 years.
Exactly. It's we was live in the chat last night and people was bringing the score, anything like that. So it was pretty amazing to see Poulin score. Really, like, we talk about a shot, Major League Baseball and Major League. It was an amazing, great shot. You can ask her more. It was straight top corner, ball down, and you have no space, honestly. But the funny thing about this is on the social media is they announce the player, the goaltender was from the player, the goaltender, I think, for the USA, the best player goaltending or something like that. And everybody claps for the Canada. And then they announce the MVP of the tournament, whatever it was, her, Marie Poulin. And the goaltender, the USA, look at her face and, oh my God, like she was upset. It was funny. It's everywhere. It's like,
I gotta see
she claps for the goaltender and her, she was upset. I was so, her face of Ursa was amazing.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was pretty cool on the social media. But look, this is a great win for the, trailed by 2-0 after the first period, 2 goal to Carpenter for the team USA. And then Canada have to fight, shorten the situation at the end of the third period. An amazing, great save of the goaltender. And have Manifest after that, was great to see that overtime 3-3, so it was pretty good. It took about 10 minutes before you have a goal, a couple of saves during the OT, but overall, Team Canada found a way to score. Poulin, it's a one, captain of the team for many years and part of the team for many years, and she did already score a big goal in front, opportunity, like could be Olympics or its front tournament. I remember another goal she did in OT. So she's a clutch player, and she deserves. It's fun to watch that game. It's fun to watch women tournament or women hockey when the two countries play each other. Right. I think they are really, they don't like each other, and it's something. It's not start from yesterday for many, many years. So it was a great game to see this. It was amazing about that.
Yeah, we have some people that have joined us, of course. Our friends Ener Tap is here. We've got Chainsaw Man has joined us. Joseph is in the chat as well. And everyone's... These games are awesome. They're pretty epic. They're clearly the two best teams in the world for the women's side. We're slowly seeing other countries develop players, but there's still a big gap. Yeah, and I think you're right. I mean, Canada's managed to prevail at the Olympics, but they've really struggled at this World Championship.
It's going to be interesting, right? I hope we should have an answer this week for the NHPA to go to the Olympics for Beijing in February. So hopefully we can see this, because I really believe it's epic to see kind of Olympics where the best player are over there. So it'd be really interesting if it's happened, but they are supposed to get an answer this week for Olympic.
So we saw, was it qualifying? Is that what the games were in the men's side? Or was it all, because it's not the World Championship, right? It's just Olympic qualifying tournament?
Yeah, so that what happened in the overseas last week, it was 6 countries have to fight to be a part of the Beijing Olympics. So they have, Denmark, France, and everything like that. So that, Slovakia, Latvia. So that's why it was a tournament over there last week. And then, a couple of NHL players step up during that tournament and make a chance to the team to win over there. So it was pretty cool to see that. That's proof one thing: players want to go to the Olympics.
Oh, I think
If you see those games and you have a chance to watch a couple of games and the way they play hard and they want to be a part of that, whatever they know, they're not going to have no chance or barely a chance to win over there, right? They want to be a part of this, and it was amazing to see those kind of players, everything like that. So it was great tournament over there, and Nikolai Heller and everything like that. And they have a couple of I have a little country, Michael, step up more and more, or they are increasing the quality of skill and talent. For me, right now, it's German. Germany is one of the team, is really one of the country the last 5 years produced better hockey. And this comes from the eclosion of the Sweden country, Finland country, and now you can see this shifting to Swiss and
the players
and the Germany. I think there are two other countries right now they pick up. The women's Switzerland, Michael, also win a game last week, and so that gives you an idea what the hockey is getting more popular around the world, and that's very good overall for me.
Slovakia has a couple of, like, in the upcoming NHL draft, there's 2 young Slovakian players that we've seen play. So Slovakia is developing very high-end players that are coming. Slavkovsky and Nemec are guys to watch, and there's another player on that team. And then you saw even the LA Kings have Chromiak, so there's some really good Slovak players. Latvia is interesting. I don't know what the state of Latvian hockey is. It's interesting that they won, though.
Moy in the house. Welcome aboard.
So do you think, so your opinion is you think that the NHL should participate in the Olympics?
Definitely.
Even at the expense of the NHL season? I guess it's because it shuts down the NHL for like 2 weeks.
It takes 3 weeks, honestly, because this year is in Beijing. But the schedule is already properly made by this part over there. So overall, I think as a fan, hockey fans, I would love to see this for sure. So, the schedule is go a little bit 2 weeks later in April. They condense a little bit more games during the year. But I think at the end of the day, so it would be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I wonder what the decision's coming down to. You think it's just the NHL Players Association? Is that
at that moment, yes. Now, because the NHL refused to pay the insurance, so the NHL have PA, but now the IIHF, decide to pay the insurance for the players. So the player don't have no problem with that part over there. So at the end of the day, between Bill Daly and the commissioner for the NHLPA, the president, Fowler, is it Fowler for whatever? They're going to have this week. We're going to see what's happening, but we should have an answer this week.
You're saying the NHL Player Association, Donald Fair, yeah.
Donald Fair. Here we go, Fair.
So Latvia has one KHL team in Riga. Oh, right. Okay. But they're most of the Latvian players and they're the worst team in the KHL. Is China still there? Are the Red Stars still there? I don't know if they're in the KHL still. Dan Asham, good morning, says, good morning, coach, and way to go, Canada. Yeah, we're absolutely proud of them. And that was a great goal. There was some controversy. They were like, it's not a goal. I'm like, obviously it's a goal.
Yeah, it was not easy to catch it right away, right? And also the puck almost like hit the post, top crossbar, hit the other side post. But when he hit the net, you can see at the replay, the puck go inside the red line and then go out right away. So, it was not easy to catch it with your eyes. If you are on the ice, I'm pretty sure. And they did not stop to play, right? They continued to play after that.
Yeah, it wasn't until the break, and then the women jumped.
I don't think so. I think they owned the ring, the play, the horn of the ice of the ring start, and then that's why they stopped. And when they hear that, they knew already it was a go in.
Oh, they did. Okay, so they must have done a review in the middle.
Yeah, so it was like funny to, it was traumatic to see this because everybody knew for Poulin, she knew she was in the goal, but they still continued to play, and then the orange start, and now they realized it was a goal. So, after it's really hard for the USA because it was leading 2-0 after the first. Canada scored 2 goals in second period, and then no goal third period, and come back with 3-2 in the OT. But yeah, that's happening.
So then next year,
Sandis Ozolinch, wow, Arthur Urbain.
yeah. So both players played for the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah, Ozolinch, I remember, it was a great career with Colorado. Is it Colorado Avalanche?
Yeah, he was. So he had. It's actually interesting because he had a really well documented issue with alcohol.
Yep.
So that was kind of challenging. But I think he started his career with San Jose because he was on that line. Let's see. Yeah, played with the Sharks.
Yep.
And then he moved on after that to Colorado.
Yeah, so that's what really he find out better way to play hockey, right? He was really with Colorado. He step up a little bit more. Urbe have a great career with the San Jose Sharks, right? And for many years. He was remembered as a number 32, and then also with his mask. His mask was pretty amazing.
I remember when he first came over, and they had like they had games between Moscow Dynamo and the NHL, and this little guy was like stoning the NHL teams.
Yep.
And you're like, what? This weird helmet, white helmet. And then Sandis Ozolinch for sure was like a great offensive defenseman. Like he was a part of when I think in this year was when San Jose upset Detroit in the playoffs, and he was part of that line with like Makarov, Larionov. It was like Jeff Norton, I think, was on that line.
But you can see his number is really one. He really with Colorado really make a big splash in the NHL. It was really with Colorado.
Yeah, he had many great years in Colorado.
Yeah, that's why I remember more him over there compared to other team. You know what I mean? After that, he struggled with injuries. He never came back like he was before.
Yeah,
in NHL.
You can see it was weird because like he was part of a team right here that I think Urbe was part of this. So it was like this is Kevin Constantine was a coach who was a former Everett Silvertip coach twice. And they had like Igor Larionov, Sergei Makarov, Johan Garpenlov, and then they had Ozolinch and Norton, and they upset the Detroit Red Wings in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think Urbe was the goalie, wasn't he?
I think so. It was at the beginning of the Urbe.
Yeah, that was a pretty crazy time. So now it sounds like, Michael Rosenblatt has joined us this morning, so thanks. The China team, let's see. The China team is in the KHL because of COVID. The team stays in Moscow. Wow, that's interesting. So the Chinese Red Star team. The coach is Alexei Kovalev, Pierre.
Yep.
Now, someone mentioned the other day that there was something about Bob Hartley in social media that was funny. Did you figure out what that was? I never saw what that was.
But Hartley, it was yesterday. People was talking about this. And honestly, I didn't watch it. I have no time. I was doing the show, but it was on social media talk about this.
This is something that I don't know when this happened, but did you see that there was that the Seattle Kraken have donated so that the University of Alaska Anchorage program can continue?
Yeah.
When was that? Was it last week?
2 days ago, I believe.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great thing. They were going to have to shut down the program, and they were trying to raise money, which was interesting. And the Kraken kicked in $150,000. I think they raised like $3 million to keep the program in place.
Yep.
So this is good news for hockey in Alaska. There's a lot of good players. I mean, we see Jeremy Swayman is a great young goalie. There's a lot of good players that come out of Alaska, and they go to different levels, including Tier 1, NCAA. So it's good that they have an NCAA program. And it's nice to see that the Seattle Kraken are helping out.
It's sad for the Robert Morris University. Cut their program hockey in last May. It's sad because Robert Morris and Wesley Michael have always been a great school for hockey for many years. A lot of people go through that. I know a lot of a lot of coach been there. It was a great team.
Huh. So they're on hold until 22,
Yep.
23.
Yep.
Yeah. So they're trying to raise money again. So it's interesting. There's not. Yeah, Yarmo, if you have a link to that video, maybe you can provide it in the chat and I'll look it up. Pierre, do you want to talk about the rumors or the news that is not yet out? Your video is up to 5,987 views. That's amazing. That's the video on.
Yeah. So I make a. So I trade already Christian Dvorak and Montreal, and I
like,
cut
really
the.
happened?
No, but what I did, I said Dvorak and Montreal, Michael, and then I already changed the jersey. So I cut the head, everything like that. I bought the Montreal Canadiens jersey and everything set up. And then he became like, and 3 hours was like 2,000 people watching this. We got about 35 subscribers because of that video.
Love it.
So it's pretty cool to see that. And
We need to make stuff up. People are more interested in the pretend stuff than the real stuff.
So, and I did not get a lot of bad, I did not get a bad video or bad comments about that one over there.
No, I saw a lot of positive comments in it.
So it was a good comments, like, so what crappy video because, you're not right, you're wrong, whatever it is. Would be interesting. If ever I'm right, I would be like crazy.
It'd be awesome.
It would be great to see that, Remember when I cut already, I fired Claude Julien before Mike Gilbert did it. So it would be interesting to see that. But yeah, it turned around to be good. I think it was the first time we hit that level of viewers, so that, and we crossed the 1,600 subscriber yesterday, where would be interesting to see where we're going now. The next thing, but look, it's it takes sometimes one video or two video, and then you can turn this YouTube channel growing, and that's what happened yesterday. So I should maybe predict more trade in the NHL.
So I think we need to make stuff up. I'm just gonna pause this. So this is. Yarmo put in the chat, I think, the URL. See if I can find it. I don't know if Yarmo is on Facebook or is he on?
He's on Twitter.
But where's he putting that in the chat?
It's right there in the chat on the bottom.
I can't highlight that, unfortunately, though.
We'll
have to figure that out. Let's see. I don't know why I can't highlight it. I guess I can't edit it. Darn it. I'll figure it out. You put it in the chat on YouTube, though, right? So I don't know why I don't see it. That's weird. Here's a link for Twitter, and
I just put it to you on the private.
Okay.
On the private chat on the StreamYard.
Yeah. There we go. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's in Russian too.
I just can't leave this place. Хорошо. Follow me. I don't need another job. I'm very happy here.
They're paying me in goat milk.
Don't try to change my mind. I don't care how much money you're going to offer. Actually, what is your offer? Forget about it. It's not about the money. It's time to feed the geese. Who would take care of my buddies if I would leave? Look at my crops. Just like last season. We're hot. Great soup. Cizikas. Great soup. Fresh and young, just like last season.
This is awesome. It looks nice.
That's Barsik. He chased my hawks all spring, so I sterilized them.
What?
Which he's still mad at me about it.
1 second.
Michael left. We lost the song. We cannot hear anything anymore. So anyhow, we're going to consider with other conversation. The big news happening this morning is the New York Calendars. The New York Calendars yesterday signed, not confirmed, but the rumor is confirmed, honestly. But the Islanders did not do anything about this yet. They signed yesterday Casey Cizikas for a 6-year contract at $2.5 million, happening yesterday
awesome.
during the day. And then also you have today Anthony Beauvilier signed a 3 years contract at $4.1 million, I believe, is the AAV. So my point to you is to see what Lou Lamoriello again and again and again find a way to bring those kind of players a cheap contract. By the way, the culture and then make that team the way they want it. So great again for Lou Lamoriello. Find a way to keep those players at below the average salary cap or salary they should get, and that's what he did again for the Islanders. And with Cizikas and Beauvillier, they still have a $10 million 11. And the other rumor is Zokorin is already signed, done deal. They just have to mention the amount of the money. But again, he's not going to get a lot if you if you compare with other contract. And Parise is done deal. Zajac would be a done deal. So that's what he does, Lamoriello in NHL.
So I guess it's not official yet, but so the numbers are what? It's 2.5 for Cizikas.
Yep.
And
And
then
he refused $5 million for Seattle. Yep.
What?
Yep. So Seattle gave him like a 3 years, $5 million. He picked $6 million, 6 year with Islanders for 2.5.
So I guess it's like, that's weird. It seems like I don't know. That's really strange to me.
Yeah. So it's confirmed by the reporter close to the Islanders, and everybody is like nothing said no, it's not true. The Islanders just did not announce it on the NHL officially, but the people follow the Islanders announced this, and Beauvillier this morning at 4.1 or 4.3.
What did Palmieri sign for?
Palmieri is not on yet. He's
Oh.
not like announced it. How much cap space do the Islanders? They are about 10 with $11 million right now.
So good morning to Bud the Monkey is here. Both Josephs, Lanham is here as well as Ferreira. Thank you for joining us. And then Bud the Monkey was asking, as you mentioned, about the cap space, which is about 11 million bucks. So Enertap says that it sounds like they've signed Sorokin, Palmieri, and Cizikas, which would be really interesting. So they're saying that Palmieri is $5 million for 4 years, which would probably be the right number, I would think. He's a little bit inconsistent offensively. Did he get more money than Blake Coleman?
Blake Coleman get 6 year, a 4.5 now?
I think you're
maybe
right.
Not. Maybe he got $6 million.
Yeah, like I don't think he got that much. Sorry. Let's take a look here. Because, I mean,
Coleman
to me,
got 4.9.
Okay, so it's similar. Because to me, that would be the comparison for me, right? Like they have very similar style and very similar numbers, probably. And Coleman might be a little better right now. I don't know, because he's younger, right?
Well, Palmieri, he's 31 years old, Palmieri. Another one is 28, 29. But I think at the end of the day, the difference between both are not, he did not get a lot about that one over there. So Palmieri is at $5 million, Beauvillier at 4.15. Sorokin signed a 3 years at $4 million, and Cizikas 6 year at $2.5 million. The team currently sit at minus $3.73 million over the cap, but they have Bolchak at $6 million to go to LDRR, and that will give them an extra 2.27 and take at least $1 million there, maybe for Zajac, and maybe $1.5 million for Parise or something like that. That cover them pretty much what they're looking for.
So they'll be right to the cap, but they'll get everybody under it.
Yeah, I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. You have two players. They have to, to let it go. It's Komarov and someone else. Jeez, cannot remember.
I mean, they just picked up Panek, but that's a lot cheaper. So Palmieri, we're thinking is 5. Cizikas is 2.5. Beauvilier, we're saying is how much?
4.15.
And then Sorokin is also 4. Well, that's a lot of money.
No, in 3 years.
You're saying on the 3rd year it goes up to 4?
No, Sorokin, he got $4 million for 3 years for 1 point something per year.
So basically, they have about 13.9 if you add in the Johnny Boychuk coming off. So that would be like what? 5, 7.5, 12.5 roughly.
I know Sorokin got $4 million per year, Michael.
Yeah, that's about 16 million worth of contracts between the 4 of them.
Yeah.
And then they have 13, 14. So yeah, they'd have to drop someone. And you're right. Like maybe it's like this contract. I don't know how they get rid of this contract though for $3 million. I know they like Komarov, but he has a no movement clause too. So that'd be interesting.
It's because the one Komarov is the problem. Like he's still $3 million. You have him. You have maybe to move over there. And they mentioned another player. I'm not remember which one he was. We know already Bolcha will be on the long term, so that's clear $6 million over there.
No, so they've listed the Sorokin contract, so that's up. Let's see if the other ones are up. So they announced Sorokin.
Yep. It's just that Beauvilier is not there yet.
So we're waiting for Beauvilier's, Palmieri.
Is not there.
Yeah. Have they added Cizikas? So Cizikas was just added. So there's 2.5. It's going to be interesting. They're going to be tight. It's amazing to me, Pierre, how many teams are spending to the cap or above.
Oh, yeah. It's panic. So it was Komarov a panic. So don't be surprised they trade panic.
And they just traded for Panek.
Yeah, Panic, like the last 6 months, he traveled all around the league. So he came from Washington, Pittsburgh to Detroit, and then now he's back with Islanders.
So crazy. Did they give a pick to Detroit for that?
For who?
For Panek? I can't remember what the trade. Oh, that was part of the Leddy trade.
It's Leddy trade.
Weird. Yeah, I would think he's going to keep moving.
Yeah.
They'll trade a center to Montreal. What center, though? I don't know what. Pajot is going to Montreal, everybody. We should announce that. We should do a video.
Yeah. Another rumor is St. Thomas Hurdle, but
what are the rumors?
If I was really, well, no, I was like, I think Bergeron should get, honestly, send something to get Thomas Hurdle.
Oh.
Because he's a better hockey player.
I don't understand what San Jose is doing. I mean, that's the guy that you would want to sign long-term, and maybe he doesn't want to sign.
Well, there's a problem because he said publicly he does not want to return up because of Kane.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said it's not right, or he'll be unhappy if we have Kane come back.
Wow.
So you have a lot of drama over there. So for me, and I think right now, and then we talked about this last night, where Michael, Doug will still have to figure out something. Where is it time for them to turn around that team to go beyond the rebuild mode, or we can go to another direction? Because they go the team right now don't go nowhere, honestly. And if you look at the Butler lineup, they don't have a, you know what I mean? Like they have a big contract, and the team overall, they looking older and older and older. So for me, I think it's the time for him to figure out what is next for them.
I'm surprised Beauvilier only got 4.15.
Well, he's still an RFA, Michael. So he's 24.
Oh, is he?
He's going to become a UFA after that. So I think overall it's not too bad. Of course, many teams he could get $5 million. Montreal was looking for him at some point, but I think it's a good bridge contract. The other news: the Minnesota Wild is almost close to find 5 years to $9 million to Kaprizov.
That will be good news. That'll be good news for Minnesota. That'll be good news for the NHL, I think, because this guy's a premier player in the NHL. Like that team
was not good enough for Thomas Hurdle. Like I said to you,
Absolutely not. Nobody should touch Jonathan Drouin.
They won't take Drouin.
There's no way.
If you trade Erdl, and that's my point, where Doug Wilson have to move on to another direction, rebuild. So they will request a two prospect, and they will request Michael a first round pick.
Yeah, for sure. I think that I don't know. How old is Hertl? He's 25, isn't he?
I'm sorry?
Thomas Hertl's not that old. He's like 25.
28, no?
I think
27, yeah, 28.
Meyer is the young one. So I don't know. I don't know why you would ever trade this guy. Like, to me,
you look about that, right? Couture now is 32 over there. Kane is 30 over there.
Yeah.
Erdl 27. And then after that, the best player, it's not much on the youngest star, where they have really the only one really after that for me is Timo Meyer.
Yeah.
Laback didn't have a great year last season, and the rest, Michael, they don't have a lot great. And then the defenseman.
LeBanc did really well, actually, but he's what he is, right? He's a 45, 50-point player. Like,
who do you talk about?
Well, LeBanc had 28 points in 55 games. That's what you would expect from him, right? 12.
Well, no, but he dropped what my point to you, he dropped the goal like 17, 14, 12. So when I said he have a bad year, it's not like he was not like bad, but he dropped the goal per year at that moment. So, but again, that's the kind of player, but he's not a top 6 on average. He's a third line.
Yeah, he kind of falls between second and third line. He's good on the power play.
So
he's not a guy.
But again, that's what I build, where Doug Wilson have to figure out something now.
Yep. I think if I'm Doug Wilson, I'm figuring out how do I move out some of these contracts. But you're going to retain a whole bunch of salary all over the place.
Well, that's one my point, Michael. If you look about his defensive side, right? So you have Carlson, you have Burns, and you have Vlasic. Now you talk about 31, 36, and 34 years old veteran players, and then after that, you cannot rebuild with Zimek, and
No.
So what I believe for them, it's maybe a time to find a way where they have to rebuild their defensive side.
But the monkey hit it on the head. I think they just need to start chopping, retaining, and getting as many assets as humanly possible. And you go all in on Shane Wright and Connor Bedard drafts. You've got William Eklund in the pipeline. And maybe you build around Hertl. If he sees that you're going to rip it down, or you move him and get assets too. Like, the biggest issue for me is, how do you move this Erik Karlsson nightmare? That's going to be really tough.
No, Michael, but I would say to you, Burns and Vlasic, because they get 35 years old after that, they could buy out them. Maybe. And then after that, because the Burns, Michael, that would cost him only 33% on that. So it cost them about $3 million, example, worst case, right? So when he get there, and then so that would cost about $5-6 million on the buyout for the next 2 years after that. So I think that would be, you can let him go. And then you have to die with Carlson for the next 4 years, where you can hang in there with this part over there. But overall, they have to figure out if we turn around the page or we still keep there. I don't know what Thomas Erdl want to do. Can we stay there? Do I love to stay in San Jose? Or can I go somewhere? Because I really believe Montreal can give him a $7.5 million at that moment to give him a 5 years contract, 6-year contract to get there.
Yeah, this is a mess. And I don't see anybody taking a chance on Evander Kane. Like, why would you want this?
I think at some point, the best of the best, it's let him remove of NHL for 1 year and go fix your problem, go fix your life, go over there and go from there. He's 30 years old. Will be 1 year later, he's going able to play hockey if he fixed. So I think the NHL have to step up, Michael, and with the San Jose Sharks and explain to them, and then waive that money for the Kane. And personally, him, you have to figure out something anyway. He don't have that money. The money goes straight to the bankruptcy anyway. But that would be my plan for Evander Kane.
It
So
would be really difficult because it's not like they're not saying he has substance abuse problems. They're investigating if he bet on hockey. That should be pretty easy to figure out.
well, is the gambling first. After that is the wedding, the divorce. Thirdly, the bankruptcy. Fourthly, it's all the crappy stuff in Vegas. Everything like that. So it's a lot on the same person to how can you perform. I don't know how he did it last year. To be honest with you, after him credit for that one over there. It's not the Angelo story because the Angelo, Michael, is just really the inside of the locker room with a fight he create with.
Yeah.
So it's not the same kind. You talk about a veteran, 30 years old, been in the NHL for 10 years. Now you talk about D'Angelo, been a couple of years within that. Yes, Verdonen's going to be with KHL. So
interesting. I don't think anybody in their right mind would take a chance on this guy. I think that's end of the line.
Like I said, I would not do it right now at that moment. I will wait and see what he's going to develop or he's going to be and go from there. But at that moment, you don't touch him. And his value market would be nothing for the shots. But again, what we do here, what we go, right? And what we're going with that part over there. So that would be interesting if Erdl wants to stay there. And, you talk about a team right now, it's just average. That's it.
So if you look at nobody's going to touch Drouin. So I think Enertap's suggesting Drouin. I don't think anybody's going to touch Drouin. You've already got a problem with Kane. You've already got these other problems. Like, why would you bother with a guy that's probably 25 pounds overweight? The guy's shown he's not in shape. So
I don't know. Some yesterday told this was not true. From what we heard from French TV yesterday, it was not true.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm picturing hello from Winnipeg, Manitoba for Alan, and then our friend Greg John was here. Good morning.
Don't forget, guys, to click on the likes.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you think that what would you have to retain to move Logan Couture? Would someone get him for $5 or $6 million? Could you retain $2 million and have a trade for him?
Yeah. You know what I mean? He's still a good one. Yeah. He's still 4 years to go now, right?
I think there is. Let's look here.
He's right there in front of you. Oh, no. 6 year out, 7 year. Ouch.
Well, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Plus one more.
Is there one more plus? Oh,
yeah. So it's a lot of year over there. So you cannot almost hold his money because now you get, and he's
and
at 33 years old, he's going to be 33 years old, Michael. This is not good.
He's going to be 40 years old at the end of this contract.
That's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yep. A lot of bad situation for Doug Wilson over there.
I think that's a situation where a young GM has to go in and just clean it up.
So at the end of the day, what Erdl will see there?
I wouldn't.
Well, the only thing is because maybe they would give him $9 million.
Yeah, we'll give you 9 for 10 years or whatever.
Yeah, it will sign him for 8 years.
I mean, crazy enough, but he's the most valuable guy right now.
But right now, Michael, that team is between the cable. So I really believe a good way to give them a 2 prospect plus a good 2 draft pick plus a great prospect. I think they will move Erdl.
Man, and they could have had Tim Stützle.
So honestly, I go with
Josh
Thomas Erdl, first round pick, second round pick.
What a mess.
You gave them Aris, you gave them Ilonen, and move on.
Yeah. You know what might be interesting is they might finish in the bottom third anyway, and if they might get another high draft pick.
Oh, they will. They will be at the top 10 draft, and the draft is good. But imagine them, Michael. Look what they did in New Jersey. Look what they did Columbus, Michael. They reset their team quickly with 2 or 3 picks this season.
Yeah.
So you have a chance to go there right now. I think that's maybe the year. And I think right now they can buy out 2 of those defensemen.
They're gonna have
and
to
I think after that they can get, I don't know if you can go to prospect at the bottom of this. You're going to see they have a couple of good prospects over there.
Yeah. Eklund's good. Wiesblatt, I don't know how good he is. I like Blichfeld is. I think Blichfeld should be in the NHL. I don't know if they're showing him. It's interesting that they're not. So is Joachim Blichfeld not signed? Oh, there he is. I mean, this guy should be in the NHL. I think he could probably be in the NHL. They bought this guy out, but this right here is a guy that should be a 20-goal scorer. I mean, he can play. He's a big guy and he's got soft hands, and they got him for one more year at $750.
Yeah.
So that's a good player. This guy should be in the NHL pretty soon. If he's not, then I don't know what's going on. Like Ryan Merkley's got a lot of potential, and then
you can see one thing, Michael. That's not big there. It's very low again on the
very low
area over there.
It's so, really low. It's bad. You would need to go in and be very aggressive.
For Enotab, what I said, I trade him a first, second, and with Ilonen and Iris defenseman, I think they'll be good about that one over there.
You're right, Brad Marchand. They overpaid everyone. If KK walks and Dvorak comes to Montreal, the Habs better off. Yes.
Bonamonkey, honestly, no. I will say to you why, because they already hired the Sidon brother, and the twins going to take care about the Canucks the next 3 years. So I don't see Roberto Luan go. But Michael could be wrong, and I know maybe not. Luan he loved to be in Florida. So I don't know if he's going to move somewhere, but he loved to live in front and here. He loved the family here. He have a nice house in Parkland, and so I don't know if he will move somewhere. So because I was said he's really a great one day become maybe a GM in Montreal. He speak French, speak English, and he'd been from Montreal, so he could become a great candidate over there. But I don't know the way he is right now here. So.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think it's, it'd be interesting to talk to Arizona and see, like, I can't see them being interested in, they would, I mean, the first and the third would be a good start. They would probably need something else, but I don't know. Does Brodeur want to be a GM?
He is right now assistant with the New Jersey Devils right now. So it will be interesting about on. He left where he does the same thing with the St. Louis Blues. I think the door closed over there with Tom Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not sure he will be. It's a lot of pressure, Michael.
For sure.
So
what's interesting, I this comment that he's the only guy that deserves his money, but even his production's kind of fallen, right? I mean, he's getting older. So he had 31 points in 53 games, 39 points in 52 games. So it was a pretty healthy year for him. So I guess he's back at that 25.
He's at 20. Now, the only thing I would say to you is I feel like he's more like a 50 point per year and not 65 point about that one.
Yeah, I think he can get 60. That's kind of his career average. He's been up and down a little bit. He's had injury problems here and there, but not.
The problem in Ottawa with that, you cannot get both of them.
I don't know how you'd fit them in.
Well, you can. Honestly, you can, because now Dvorak, Michael, because his contract is only $4 million.
Yeah.
That helped a lot.
That's
right. So it's not true what I said. I apologize. But I think for Montreal, it would be better to not go for both of them, get one of the two over there. I think Erdo will be better. And then you use that money to get a little bit more on the defensive side to try to get a puck mover on the defensive, because right now you're going to maybe lose Ben Chariot next year. So LD, have a lot of LD NHL. You can pick that money, pick up, and maybe lane home for the Anaheim Ducks, so someone can move the puck better. So for me, I would not trade for both.
I mean, they definitely have they don't have a centerman in here. It's kind of crazy. Like,
yeah, Suzuki. So
right.
So that's what they have right now at that moment.
It's interesting they list Cole Caulfield as a centerman. I mean, I think he's a better wing, but he plays like a centerman. He's a really good skater. I wonder if he's so small. I would rather have him on the wing. I think I'd rather have him.
And the chat, a lot of stuff. He's go all the way up. I think you have to go all upper to go down.
For which?
No, we have a lot of stuff going on. I don't know. We miss a lot of stuff at the higher this.
I don't think so.
We like Kitschy. We like go to Boston. I don't know. I did not follow up.
Yeah, there wasn't anything. We kind of talked through it, to be honest with you. Logan Couture should try to leave either contract or trade because he's the only guy I think that deserves the money. So we kind of talked about that. We talked about Brodeur. A lot of views on the Dvorak video. Yes, it is. It's good stuff. If the Habs get Dvorak and Hurdle, we already talked about this. We think it's an improvement. So I don't know if you're referring to Dvorak as being like Krejci. I can see that comparison. He's pretty good on faceoffs. I mean, Krejci is a very good playmaker, though. Huberdeau and Barkov both land in the top 10 in goal scoring by the end of the season. I'm not sure about that. Maybe.
Top 10 goal, is it like only scoring or is it like a point? That's another thing, right?
Yeah, points, yes, but goals, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Barkov's not going to be a guy who score 45, 50 goal
I don't think
per year. I think he's more like the guy get 90 points, but a 30 goal, and I don't see that way. See, we play first, third, run another asset.
I think the asset's the key here, right? Like, what do you get back? Is there a guy that's almost NHL ready that has some upside? Like, I don't know if that's Ylonen. I don't know if Romanov might be too much, but you want something like that. If
It's not an overpayment, Michael. The reason we said that is because his contract's
very good.
A lot of team, and that's the reason was said you have to add one more asset about that one over there, and that will fix the problem Montreal now. Dvorak, Michael, is not like a Barkov. He's not like is a really good solid. Kusanov is better. Monahan is better. But again, it satisfies what you don't have right now. And that's the reason I said it's really important to get him. But if you can get Erdl, or maybe can knock the door at San Jose or Monahan and Calgary, you winner over Dvorak. But that's what you have right now. Montreal cannot start the season. And they have to act now because you have to figure out with Kotkaniemi. Because Kotkaniemi, they can sign him, and that's it. That's all. They keep him for 1 year. I believe for me also, and I understand what I said, but if you can Kotkaniemi, Michael, on the trade next year, he can be also better what they get. I think Kotkaniemi overall is better to a first-round pick from Carolina, a third-round pick overall at the end. Because he's only 21 years old. You have a lot of potential over there. He's a guy who's going to be a minimum 40 point, and that's why the reason he deserves more. If you keep him, it could be a little bit more. Now, how he can control his contract, I don't know back Benjamin, but that's something you have to figure out.
I think you just let Carolina eat it.
You see Barkov be at the top 3 Hart? No.
For the Hart Trophy, really?
Yeah.
You don't think that he would be in the Hart consideration?
I don't think so. Yeah, too many players in NHL, Michael, can get that trophy over him.
But if Florida finishes first in the NHL and they get it to the third round even, but forget the playoffs, but, he finishes top 10 or 12 in scoring and they finish first in the NHL, I think he's got a legit shot at it.
I don't say the top 3, Michael. I see too many, you can go with McDavid, Dressel, McKinnon, right? And you can get McCarr in the discussion at some point. You're going to get maybe a goaltender in the discussion at some point. And then we don't do a lot around the league right now, but I'm sure. Now, can he be in consideration? Yes. Can he be the top 10 in NHL? Of course. Yeah. Just 3. I just feel they have too many players and a little bit higher to him to get that one over there. It's a little bit difficult, Michael, also for the Hart to give a guy play a little bit more on the defensive, where he's really great on defensive side. Like he will win 3 times more the Selke versus the Hart, where it's more to the guy produce more points at the end of the year. So I don't just discredit what he is. I just feel like the way he played the game is a little bit different for the guy play more on the to get the trophy, the Hart Trophy. Now he can get it, like you said, if Florida finished first and have like 95 points and playing amazing, and he's able to do it. I don't have no problem with that part. But I just feel the way he played his game is not easy to win the Hart Trophy.
Yeah, maybe. So who do you think will lead Florida in goals? I kind of think it'll be Sam Reinhart.
Who do you think lead now? Huberdeau.
You think Huberdeau will score more than Reinhart goal-wise?
Oh, yeah. On the goal, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. If you look about Huberdeau goal, Michael, you're going to be surprised. He scored a lot of goals. Huberdeau, Michael, is maybe one of the top 5 minimum left wing in NHL.
So Sam Reinhart had 25 goals last year, and he had 20.
Yeah. But again, he's the guy you're going to see. What I said that Huberdeau will score again another year at 30 goal, 35 goal. And for me, I'm sorry again?
But he's never done that.
But if you get about his 30 years, 30 goal one time, right? And then he lost a couple of games, so he have an average of 27, 28 goal around that part over there. I just feel like he will go at the end, he will get more goal compared to Reinhart.
I mean, if you look at last year, Reinhart was on pace for 40. So it'll be interesting to see. Like, he played center, which I don't think he's going to play in Florida, but he's never, I don't think, well, he's had Eichel, but Eichel's a little different. I think Barkov's probably a little more pass first, right? So it'd be interesting to see.
But again, depend who he play with.
Right. That's what I
mean. They maybe play both of them the same line.
Right. I've always thought Huberdeau was more of a pass first guy too. He's not like a shooter necessarily, but he can shoot. He's a very talented player. I mean, I think it'll be between those two guys. I kind of think Reinhart will be the guy.
Yeah. You don't make a mistake by said it's Reinhart right now. You're not off completely, right?
Yeah, it's one of the two.
See, he's a guy who can score 28 to 30 goals per year.
Thomas Chabot had the most giveaways last season. How do you turn that around? I don't know if you do.
You don't usually, Michael, the puck mover, right? Carlson always dominate this giveaway. A lot of people like Drew Dowry and Piquet Subban. And for me, as a defenseman, that's part of what they are. You give a lot of puck return that. And sometimes giveaways a bad passing on the, on the breakout, return that. But that's just normal. Those best players in the NHL defensemen, they are usually part of the giveaway side on the stat.
Yeah.
You can see the top 10. You're going to see 7, 8 defensemen usually.
I don't like Hoffman without the puck. I mean,
I read that Hoffman is not a bad defensive reputation. I don't know a lot about him.
I don't know about
no, be honest with you, is below average on the defensive side. His problem, Johnny, is more on the zone coverage. So you have a difficult time to read the play or moving to be at the right spot. The defensive side on the offensive, it's not, but he's not a four-checker guy, right? Puck retrieving is 50-50, and on defensive side, is below average. But again, those kind of players, Michael, are not usually have a great oriented defensive asset. They are really an offensive asset, right? I don't want to compare to Ovechkin, but Ovechkin is average, right? He's the last player on the ice, come back checking. But I don't say Hoffman does not work. I'll be honest with you. You look at him, he work hard. He have a good work ethic, return that. But he's just an average player on the defensive side.
I've never seen.
You know what? You remind me? Jonathan Drouin.
Oh, yeah.
On the defensive side.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's what he is, Johnny. Good question. Great question.
Because
I was in the house last night, Michael, with a lot of people last night, Michael. 45 likes last night in the house. We have about 30 people over the show last night, and Picola was looking for you again.
I see Reinhart and Verhaeghe with Barkov, and then I think Huberdeau with Bennett, and I think Huberdeau will go up and down. He'll play up and down the lineup a little bit.
I'll be honest with you, I don't see Huberdeau move up with Barkov. He will split or Huberdeau, and because I believe Huberdeau helped a lot Sam Bennett.
Oh, for sure.
It's not Sam Bennett help Huberdeau. So for balance his line, he will play more Huberdeau with Bennett. And whatever is on the right, Duclair, Orvis, or Reinhart, that's not a matter for them. But I think if you have to go, when you coach like this, Michael, you always go by duo. The trio is a secondary, but
Yep.
you build your team with duo. So you
Yep.
center in the middle, and then the winger, the best, and the rest on the right. So I don't say they will never play together because some night you maybe struggle, plus struggle, everything like that. But that's what you see right now. That's pretty much. I'm still don't believe what they put Ovis at the bottom there, but that's
No.
another story.
He's going to play ahead of Duclair.
I feel like I feel like Lundell, Acheri, and Marsh. I think if you see that lineup, Marshman is the one you have to get out of that one over there.
Do you think so?
Yes,
I like Marchman.
I believe they will bring Joe Thornton over there, and that would be the one you have to sacrifice Marchman because the rest of the lineup is solid all the way. And then we don't talk about Maxim, Maximin or whatever his last name, Macmin, whatever it is, I don't remember. But that's another player. And
the Russian guy, or
yeah, and then we don't talk about Denisenko. So listen, those forward is unbelievable lineup over there.
It's a great lineup. I mean, they're very deep.
Yep.
They're going to try to take advantage. Oh, they posted all the contracts now for New York Islanders. It's a big signing party, Pierre. Cizikas, Beauvilier, Palmieri, Sorokin.
Yep. Dyson was fourth. Oh, hold on. Tressel was fourth and gave away.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, the one thing about Draisaitl is he does carry the puck a lot. Oh, I got to jump on this. Hold on.
Yeah, it's time for Big Lots to show up the show. Yes, in our tap. Do you think Renat Nash for the goal? I'll be really interesting about that. I don't believe this, but it could happen. I think Verhey is locked for one FW. Yeah, I think so by the monkey. Obviously, Canada get against Cizikas, he will probably make 40, 60 game. I agree a little bit about 82 games, but I think lower. I just see more like 70 games. Obviously, also start great, also get tired, like the older players. OMG, Bob, what are you doing? I don't have no space. I don't know what. Do you Ovi can beat Kretzky record? I still believe he will beat this at the year number 4 or 5. I think he's going to get it's 33 goals per year. Ovechkin can put this really not easy, but I think he can make it.
I think he'll probably end up doing it. I hope he doesn't, but he's I
still believe he have a chance to do it. I don't say he will, but I think he have a possibility to do that for sure.
Yeah, I think he might.
I think his chance is really high for that part over there.
I think that Reinhart could score 40. He would. It would be a career year for him, but I think that the circumstances are right, so it's very possible.
It's confirmed by the NHL about the situation with the Islanders, Michael. So it's done deal.
Hats off to Lou Lamoriello. Hornqvist can't handle an 82-game schedule. Maybe he plays in the hardest areas of the ice, right? So
yeah, it's not easy, right? It's not like a part of where it's but that kind of player usually it's happened, like it'll be like Gallagher every time that.
I also have no space. I don't think they need any. Do you think if Bossy played 1,000 games, he would lead scoring all time? I mean, mathematically, yes. He would be up there. Will we see an offer sheet? I don't know, man. I think this whole drama with Kotkaniemi, everybody wants to avoid. But I could see Peterson getting an offer sheet. If Montreal's smart, they go after him. I would rather pay him $11 million than Kotkaniemi $6.
So I know we are all the subject right now, Michael, and I know it's funny, but you remember Pete Peters?
Yep.
Right. So he went to fish, and he just claimed the world record for the biggest sturgeon fish overall he got yesterday.
Wow.
It's like a whale. It's like guy is like he's about 20 feet. It's on the Twitter under Anaheim Ducks. Oh my God. That's crazy. He left. Yeah, can you see it? Yeah, but the picture on the side, Michael, is unbelievable. We lost you. You mute.
Oh, what do you do with that? It's so big.
I know.
Can you eat that?
I don't know.
Just put it back. Let that
You let
dinosaur.
him back like he's what, like 40 years old?
Yeah, let that dinosaur keep swimming.
That's crazy. Think about that. That's huge one. Michael is don't be in the trouble.
Yeah, don't get in trouble. We're gonna wrap it up, Michael. Anyway.
Or put the t-shirt with us.
Yeah, put the teacher on. Well,
Is it that real by the monkey? Yes, it is. Being honest with you, I
real.
just see the picture on the Anaheim Ducks, and it's really real.
That's a sturgeon. They're huge.
Yep. Yeah, it was a great show. Unfortunately, Michael, tonight, possible no show for me tonight. Unfortunately, I have to ref. If
Yep.
it's a show, it's going to be at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Possible I would jump. If not,
Okay.
I'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. But today is a flashback initial player, and I have for you guys at 5 o'clock tonight, Ray Bourque for the Boston Bruins, 19 years and 21 years in NHL, 2 years with the Colorado Avalanche, and the winner of the Stanley Cup at the end of his career. So I can't wait to talk about the Mr. Defenseman. Only 5'11". I was shocked to see I thought he was a 6-foot guy. Only
Who's that?
5'11", 220.
Who?
Ray Bourque.
Oh yeah, he was a tank. If you see him now, he's got to be too.
But I thought he was bigger. I thought he was like a bigger guy.
But he's like, if you ever meet him, he's like the thickest.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? I thought he was like a 6'1" or something like that. I see
fire hydrant.
5'11", so.
I think his body type is what Sidney Crosby was striving for.
Yep. Yes, exactly. And that.
Johnny Golden says the sturgeon looks like his mother-in-law.
But Johnny have another story about his mother-in-law, by the way.
Oh, Stefan's here.
So, Stephen member back in the house after he was there last night. He's back in the house. A lot of people at the quiz yesterday, Michael. And last night, Michael was in black with a new subscriber, Ron Amon. And also, again, in our tap, win the Frenchy quiz again, back-to-back for in our tap. So, thanks,
Cool.
Michael, to another great show, everybody. We look forward to you tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock for the early edition with the Hockey Nation Live Show. Have an amazing, great, blessing Wednesday.